What's up, everybody? What's going on? It's Derek B. I'm here with Indecent the Slapmaster, one of Vallejo's legendary pioneer producers and also an artist.
I ain't nobody.
He's nobody, but...
We got one person viewing in right now, and that's all we need. Oh, we got a couple people viewing in too.
Okay. We just doing a freestyle Q&A session about the music business. We're not rich, but we're still trying. We don't have all the answers, but we have our experiences.
We've been through a lot of experiences where we believe we could give you some advice that can help you out along the way as well. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be in it as long as us to get some monetary, you know what I mean? You might as well get the game from us and, hey, you can start today. You know what I mean? Go ahead. Let's. What's that first question?
The first question is how to get booked for shows.
How to get booked for shows. Go ahead.
I mean, there's a lot of ways to get booked for shows. If you're a brand new artist, the easiest way to get booked is to pay for it.
Right.
Now, there's pros and cons to that. Some people think it's bad. Some people think it's good. I think it's good if you do it the right way.
Right.
So if you're going to pay for a slot, then hopefully you get a table to sell some merchandise, or you could collect people's email addresses.
Right.
So people who do like you, they will come to your booth and talk to you. And make sure your set is short. Like, if you're a new artist, do a 9-minute set.
Right.
You don't want to people don't want to hear a lot of music that they don't know, especially if it's like one of the opening slots.
Right.
And then the performance is a good chance to like win people over by having a dope performance.
Right. I mean, there's ways you can go about it. It depends on where you want to take your career. Or when it comes to live shows, if you try to do small little bar venues, or if you're trying to get on, and really be behind the headline, or be at the Oracle Arena, there's different steps and different things for that. As far as how far along you are in your career, it depends on, money spent. I mean, believe it or not, if you don't want to spend money, you're going to have to go out there on your 2 feet. You have to go talk to these clubs yourself. You're going to have to become the promoter yourself, basically. If you don't become the promoter, then don't expect to get on these shows unless you raw and you selling some units already. You know what I mean? But that's the artists that get established. They have to go through these certain sequences.
So taking a promoter's perspective, they want to know that people will come watch you. They want to know will people pay.
A promoter only cares if you're dope and you have a draw, because at the end of the day, it's about money.
You don't even have to be dope. You just have to have the draw.
Right. If you have the draw, I mean, that brings the money. You know what I'm saying?
So sometimes you got to sell tickets.
Right.
So if you have to sell 20 tickets, then that's what you got to do.
Right.
You need your friends to buy these tickets.
This is the music business, not the music favor.
Right. You got to get out there and call clubs, call venues, and just ask, hey, is there any opening spots available? Here's my demo.
We got a question right here. It says, we're going to skip just to this question real quick. It's called, who is that? Victor Brooks says, what's the pros and cons of leasing beats? I'll give you my experience. The pros with it is it'll save you some money in your pocket. You don't have to worry about somebody really coming after you for rights or anything, especially if you have a contract. Because if people are selling lease or exclusive, you know what I'm saying, really, it's not bonded unless you have a contract. You guys can have a verbal one. If you're on text or something like that, I mean, that'll work and whatnot. But the cons with leasing a beat is about 10,000 other rappers got it. And in my studio right here, I got songs that have the same freaking beat. At least, like, I got one that's got, like, it's the 20 songs with one beat. Same thing, off the internet. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so look, what should an artist be paying for an exclusive beat? What is the average rate? Like, is there an average cost, or?
It depends on if it's dope or not. You know what I'm saying? There's some people.
But that's subjective, like.
Subjective, exactly. But me, for a lease, I wouldn't pay no more than $25 for a lease. That sounds reasonable, especially if it's being sold to 100 or 10,000 more people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
How about an exclusive? What is that?
Exclusive, I mean, now that's subjective, depending on region, I believe.
Okay, so
region in age group now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So what's the average number? Because I've seen
some of these youngsters. I've seen from with the youngsters today from $100 to like maybe $5. It depends. It depends on who they are. You know what I mean?
And it's exclusive.
Right.
Now so you no longer own a beat.
Okay, so if you're a producer,
okay, let's talk about
and
that.
a producer okay, if you're a producer and the producer sells you exclusive or lease, yeah, you have rights to it, but the producer still gets money off the back end when it comes to publishing. That doesn't cover the publishing part. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Basically, you're just renting or owning the beat. You're owning the beat. But when you take that and you actually put it here and it starts making money and stuff like that, he can. The producer has rights for the publishing. Not unless you guys got that in the contract where you get a certain percentage for buying the exclusive. You know, you could work it that way.
So it costs more money if you want it exclusive. I mean, at what point do you sell the beat outright and say I no longer will receive any money from this beat? How much would it take?
I mean, that depends on the person.
That's just a negotiation.
Yeah. But if someone came at me like that, that means that they really like it, so I wouldn't do it. So I'm trying to be fair about it. I want to make sure I get...
So the way publishing works is it's really 200%. It's not 100%.
Right.
So 100% would go to the artist, and then 100% goes to the creator, the writers. So the writer could be the person who wrote the music, produced the music, composed the music.
Right.
And then a portion of that writing would also go to the actual writer of the lyrics.
Right. We got a question right here.
Okay.
The homeboy says, who's your favorite rapper? Just one. Name one right now. And 1, 2, 3, you got to go.
De La Soul.
Boom. There it is. You got your question. What about producing an album? How you split that between the two? Well, that depends on your distribution. You can get into certain distributions. DistroKid is one of them, where you can do splits between you and a collaborative person. It costs money, though, of course. There's distributions out there, or you have somebody just handle the splits. It's their account, and you trust them, and you have access to it, and whatever money it makes, you know, well, you guys agree upon when it hits a certain amount that you'll take it out and then share it evenly. You know what I mean?
A big part of doing collaborations and things like that is you have to trust the person that's going to... Because someone has to be in control of the money.
Straight up.
If you can't get it to be split, otherwise someone is in control. So at some point, you either forget about the money that's coming in, or you just stay on top of it. But mostly, you just let it go after a few years.
Right. Shout out to the homeboy Robert out there in Texas, man. Who else we got on here that's watching real quick? Let's see. We got City Girl. Who else we got on here? We got Herb watching. Man, we got all sorts of people. We got Caesar watching. Man, we got Tony Tone watching.
Romel, my cousin, what's up?
Hey, we got Jose Milanos watching right now. Got everybody watching. All right, cool. We got Jay Manning watching.
We got any more questions?
Yeah, go ahead. Give us some more questions.
How should a person have their music formatted to do a show?
To do a show?
Oh, well, you should have it on a
USB
zip drive, USB drive.
USB. I would prefer. Okay, so back in the old days, we would put it on CD. You know, that's what people wanted. Now it's best to put it on USB because CDs skip and they get scratched. So USB is the way to go. MP3 format. And then when you do make a show version, I would suggest that you take your main out. If you can't rap without your main, then turn it down at least. You know what I'm saying? At least look like you're performing. Don't
your vocals, your main vocal track.
Yeah, your main vocal track. You can keep your ad-libs. You can keep your backgrounds. But that main vocal track,
drop it.
You know, drop it because you
look like a talent show artist.
Unless you got millions of dollars behind you, because yes, there's $1 million artists that do that, but guess what? They're established. You're not. You know what I'm saying? So don't do that. Try to be that artist that is dope when it comes to the performance. So when you are established, that's what you're established as. You feel me? As a dope artist that can perform. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What else we got? Let me see. He says, "They state of hip hop is De La Soul."
The state of hip hop is right now.
Do you want to know what the state of hip hop is right now? What do you? Okay, wait. We got Tae Hustle. It says, "What do you see music production going in the next 2 years? How do you make a show version different or better from a live performance? How do you make a show version?" I mean, live performance and show version to me are kind of the same. If someone's just rapping over their lyrics, they're just rapping over their song.
Okay, so the way I understood that question is take your pick out like 5 of your songs that you want to perform,
right,
and give it to somebody like him, or give it to a DJ, and they'll mix and blend your set together so it's seamless.
Right.
So you just want one track when you hand over the DJ here, just one track. You don't want to have skip to number 5, skip to track 7. That looks kindergarten.
I wanna rebuttal a little bit on that. I would say bring a CD or a USB that has it like that, but I would specifically bring the tracks that I'm gonna perform and have them numbered first on your order, 1 and whatever your name is, and then the name of the track, and then at the end of that put show, like in parentheses, so you know that that's your show version. Then number 2, whatever your name is, whatever the title of the track, show version. You know what I'm saying? Reason why is because some of these DJs out there fuck up, and when they fuck up on the shit and you gotta try to rewind something, you can't because it's on one long track.
That's why you should have a DJ put it together so they just hit play and your whole set is
make
done.
sure you hit him up right now if you want to get your shit right. You feel me?
Sick mix.
Ooh.
What do you got else? What else you got for us?
What's the difference between groups and crews?
Groups and crews, huh?
So like a group would be, De La Soul was a group. A crew would be Wu-Tang Clan. And there's a lot of young groups out right now that are kind of like crews. They're not necessarily groups.
I would say SOB is a crew.
SOB is a crew.
Is a crew. That's not a what's
NBA.
NBA is it's a crew, but there's only a few rappers in the crew.
A group is a group. Like three is considered a group almost, something like that. Yeah,
3 or 4 is a
but
group.
when you got a crew, that you have main ones within the crew, and then you have people on the outside. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that they're less valuable.
Migos
There's just
is a group.
Migos is a group. Is there more than 3 Migos?
No.
So the relationship of being in a group or a crew, like the 3 amigos. If you got a crew, and you got to really support the ones that are rapping, the ones that are making moves, the ones that are putting out legit projects. You got to support them. If you're just in the crew and you're a side rapper, then you got to play your position. But you have to also don't forget you do exist as a solo artist too. So it's a fine line. Like if you're in a group, then it's the whole, you're pushing for everybody. But if you're in a crew, you're pushing for everybody, but you still need your shine too. So don't forget to push yourself.
Right.
So what do you guys think, both of you guys, what do you think the best way for artists nowadays to be heard? Should they go as a group or individuals or a crew?
It doesn't matter to me. As long as you have the foundation of building fans. That's what you need. Anybody could have fans. You just have to build them.
And it's hard for me to just tell because I was going to say your music got to be hot.
Doesn't have to
But hot to us growing up is different than what hot is today. You know what I'm saying? Us older people might not like what's going on today and whatnot, you know what I'm saying? But it's just like history. Our parents didn't like what we was doing and vice versa and all the way down the line, you know what I mean? So
but
it's all preference.
Nowadays it seems like more crews are getting on faster.
More crews? I say more groups. Oh wait, crews, yeah.
More crews
like HBK. Well, I would say more crews in the Bay Area.
Yeah, in the Bay Area.
In the Bay Area, I think it's easier to market.
You got 5 to 10 to 15 people pushing one agenda, versus just you by yourself. So
with a manager and maybe some money behind you and a label. You know what I'm saying? When you build a real empire like HBK and them back in the day, you know what I'm saying, and what they have now, you know what I'm saying? They really started from the ground up, which is dope. You know what I mean? And that's and there's a bunch of HBK members I don't know. I know the main ones, but there's a bunch of other ones. You know what I'm saying? So it's a crew.
Now what's the definition of HBKs?
HBK Heartbreak Gang. What?
Oh, I didn't know.
Heartbreak Crew. HBK Gang.
Okay.
Heartbreak Kids Gang.
Now
Heartbreak Kids.
We gonna get to this. Hobbies versus real business.
So a hobby,
music biz.
What's that?
So if you're in this business and you know it's a hobby, the easiest way to know it's a hobby is you haven't made any money yet. That's probably the best way to separate the two.
Then you enjoy it.
and you enjoy it, but maybe you only work on it once a week.
And we got a question right here. It says, advice for upcoming artists to break out, ? How important is consistency in the beginning? How to get local support first? That's a good fucking question.
Well, I don't think you actually need local support first.
Not now.
Not in today's age.
Not yet. Back when you didn't have the internet, yeah, you needed your town support because you was 5.0 it out here selling CDs.
Yeah, so probably the number one thing is networking. You got to get out there and visit performers, go to performances that even you're just not performing, you're just there to watch.
Right.
You have to be a spectator also. You can't just be an artist all the time.
Yes, sir.
When you're watching the show, you could talk to people next to you and build a relationship. You could talk to the promoter and build a relationship. You can talk to the bartenders and build a relationship.
Right.
That's also a way to get shows.
Right.
Make friends.
Yeah, back then, a long
Network.
time ago,
why pay for the slot when you can buy the spot? Think of that one. You know what I'm saying? I mean, think about it. You buy a slot, let's say $200 for a nice 15-minute slot or something like that. Let's just, for example. So if you're to do about 5 to 10 shows, you could probably go rent a spot out and make that money times 3 in one night.
But if you had a better headliner than just yourself,
for sure. Don't expect to go out there and buy the spot and think everybody's going to come kick it with you.
Now, it's a great idea, and you should all strive to be doing that. But in the beginning, you have to go meet promoters. You have to do it.
You have to shake the hands and kiss the babies. You got a campaign.
Networking, you have to come meet. There's a lot of industry network nights happening.
Yeah.
But you have to leave your house. You can't just be online. You have to actually leave your house.
Yeah.
You can't just build a empire from Facebook. There's more involved. It's hand to hand. Guerrilla marketing still runs the industry.
It does.
So your best way for you to have a successful turnout, is it to repeat something that you already seen that's working, or find an outsource to do it for you? Or would you just find a promoter or a booking agent?
It depends on who you are, really. I mean, if you're just starting out, then you probably shouldn't think about
I always think it depends on what your budget is. It's always going to come down to your budget.
It's going to come down to your budget and your knowledge of what you think you can do. Because I've seen people lose money. I've lost money on shit that I thought I knew, but I just had the budget for it. So you have to bring an advisor in, somebody who has some experience to help you out, and they can guide you through this process. If we're talking about serious money, because no one wants to waste it.
Right. All right. I mean, we have any other questions?
Find your niche. How do you find your niche?
It's better to, for example, I'm gonna talk about Vallejo because this is what we have experiences. Vallejo is made up of Hispanics and Asians and everything you could think of. Vallejo has it, and so Vallejo also has a multitude of dope rappers that are all multicultural.
Right.
If you're Filipino, you shouldn't try to get a fan of. Everyone shouldn't be your fan in the beginning. You should go after other Filipinos. That's your easiest way to connect. And when your music reaches a certain amount of Filipinos, when you're like the man, then everyone else will start to notice you also. But you have to be the man in that niche first.
Yes, you do. Or just be different.
Or be different.
Just be different.
For you.
Yeah.
Indecent.
Yeah.
How can a high school make your music better?
How can a high school make your music better? What do you mean?
High schoolers, kids.
How can high schoolers make your music better?
Concerts type stuff, you know what I mean? Like, how can you...
I think they could influence music. I don't know. I mean, just where else can you find 300?
I mean, you mean like trying to stay current? I mean,
just like if you pushing a new artist.
If I'm a producer and I expect to survive off of this the rest of my life, then I have to adapt to what's going on. I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean I got to go kick it with people in high school. It might be somebody that's like 19, 20, 21 or something, you know what I mean, of legal age, but that's listening to that shit, you know what I mean? But yeah.
But high school kids definitely influence the masses. I mean, it starts at that street level.
Right.
And if a group like SOB has support from their entire high school, it spreads like wildfire.
To every other high school.
It's
because you have friends. Everybody at high school has a friend at another high school.
Right. Right.
Because I heard.
But what's crazy is these high schools today, the kids there seem to support the artists that are from there more than when we went to school. I'll tell you that much. You know what I'm saying?
There wasn't no internet back then.
I mean, there wasn't really
Like
no
that.
famous. I mean, I don't remember no really famous rappers while I was in high school.
When you graduated?
I graduated in '97.
It was RBL.
What?
Five?
No,
that
I'm talking about that went to high school with me.
Sugar Wolf.
Nah, Sugar Wolf graduated before me.
Mac Mo.
Before me. You know, they're like 39, 40 years old.
Yeah. I had another one.
We just gotta accept us older people in the music business that it's a young man's game. Hip hop, at least, is, and at least in the big numbers. If you want to really get filthy rich, you have to invest in the youngster. You got to do it.
You got to.
There's no way around it.
I'll just say stay current, you know what I mean, of what's going on, you know what I'm saying? Don't worry too much about the politics. The deeper you get into this rap game, the more you'll run into road bumps and things that might discourage you and whatnot. You just got to stay focused, stay business-minded about it. You know what I mean? Treat it like a business. Don't love what you do, but if you expect to make a living off it, treat it like a business.
Okay, I got another one for you guys.
Yeah.
How important is visual?
Oh, I think it's extremely important today.
Yeah.
Just because the youth today are listening to music with their eyes now.
Yeah. You can't call it a single if you don't got a video.
Yeah, for
you
real.
can't do it. It's not. You haven't released it properly.
Kids aren't press and play on music by itself. They want to see they want to see a picture with it. They want to see a visual. It's crazy.
A good 80. I've said this before, but 80% of all my labels' money comes from YouTube.
Right.
You know.
And so that's the best way you put it as a person that's up and coming and a new artist that wants new fans and to be somewhere seen, they should at least do some videos.
You have to do
sure.
videos, yeah.
Gotcha.
Whether it be blogs, it don't even have to be music videos. You can just be doing something interesting in the studio.
Right.
Going shopping or hanging out with another artist or even going fishing, something just different.
Right.
So social networking is the best way for you to.
No, it's not the best way.
Yeah.
I mean, there's plenty of different ways to do it. You know what I'm saying? Social network is one of the tools. You gotta remember that you got tools. You know what I'm saying? I don't think no tool is greater than the other because they all are effective in what they do.
Yeah, they work hand in hand.
Right.
Like I always explain it like this: like your game plan has to be. You have to look at it like you're setting up dominoes.
Right.
On their end, you got 10 dominoes to the end, and you've hit that first domino and it knocks the second and the third, but you pull out number 7 and 8 and 9,
right,
and your whole momentum stops. You know, so it's got to be a certain sequence to this. There's no one way that.
Splade Moore says, "How long have you been in the industry?"
My first job that I got paid for was Young Black Brother Records in 92, 91. Shouts out to Kyrie and Daraka, Rob Nonies.
Right, Rob. Where is Rob Nonies? Man, I haven't heard that name in years.
Rob Nonies is
that was Koch distribution back then, right?
He was at Koch and the bar, and
right.
He was my mentor, but so he's out in Florida right now. He's a boxing coach.
That's dope.
Yeah, and his son is coming up.
Is that right?
He's undefeated. He's pretty badass. I think he's like 13, and
you know,
he's coming up.
That's dope. Big shout out to Adrian Man. Adrian Man's viewing right now. Shout out to Adrian Man of 3 Times Crazy.
3 Times Crazy.
Ooh.
We did.
What else we got? We got Just Make Records and the Riches Come is what Steve Garcia said. Right on. We love that. This is good. Lee Johnson, what's up? Do you have a question for us, Lee Johnson? Go ahead and.
Type in some questions if you got some questions for us.
If you got questions for us, go ahead and type them in right now.
So when should an artist book a tour?
When you're established.
When you get enough,
to do it.
when you get enough requests.
So that's like throwing money away if you try to go out without a big name.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna go on a tour, then you must have some certain things set up already. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You gotta be established. You
I
don't
mean,
just go on a tour.
a demand has to be one of those things.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you don't have a demand, then you need to go on someone else's tour. You need to jump on someone else's piggyback. You know, and sometimes you got to pay for that.
Straight up.
You know.
Yes, sir. Let me see.
What's that thing to find your royalties?
Exchange, Sound Exchange.
Sound Exchange.
SoundExchange.com.
You just go there, you sign up. I think it's free.
It's free, and what you do is you sign up.
You
and
can look for your name.
Not look. It gives you a list, and what you do is you type in what you think your name would be spelled on albums.
Yeah.
So you can have multiple. Let's say if someone messed up on your name on an album, and you remember how they spelled it, you can write that, and they'll go find that and bring that in for you.
Yeah. So that money gets generated by like online radio shows.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like built up publishing. Like
it's just money it's online publishing that's just held for you. It's saved until you go collect it.
They somehow, you know, there was a law that was passed, like 10 years ago or something, that allowed this to be made, and for basically royalties that are floating around that belong to people to be collected and held until someone claims it.
Oh, got it.
You know
so that's a good way for.
If you was popping and you didn't get paid, hell yeah.
That don't know the game and somebody gave them.
If you was popping, if you were popping,
Sound Exchange. It's called Sound Exchange.
Sound Exchange. Yep.
I'm not an expert at it.
SoundExchange.com. I am, because I try to get every penny.
So every artist that's out there that had an album that you know that did big numbers. That
no, you don't even have to. You don't even have to have big numbers.
You don't have to have big numbers.
But I think you need at least. They won't pay you until you make $100 or something. Something like that.
So the advice to the artists that don't know about Sound Exchange is go type your name in. And
go to SoundExchange.com. Go log in. Make yourself an account. Follow the directions. Very simple.
Yeah.
Very easy. It's going to ask you it's going to ask you like I think you got to sign a W-4 or W-9. You got to do all that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So if you ain't ready to be professional, then don't even worry about Sound Exchange. You don't need that money. But if you want to get professional, then go to SoundExchange.com, make yourself an account. You know what I'm saying? Quit playing with yourself, quit playing with the game, and just get it set up.
If a website is pushing your music, they don't owe you anything, but your publisher will collect that for you.
Right.
You don't have to go to the radio station and demand your $37.
Right.
Someone else will get that for you. You just have to be in the system.
Right.
But yeah, Sound Exchange.
And if you feel that your name has been spelled differently, like I said, it's going to give you a thing to where you can spell your name so many different ways. And they'll be able to confirm if it's you or not, you know, because you got to give your
I think you got to put your driver's license.
All that. You want to make that money? This is how you do it. You know what I'm saying?
What's up, Roselle? What's going on?
So what are the goods and the bads with merchandising yourself?
There is nothing bad.
There's nothing bad. I mean, you could find websites today that will they'll host your design for you for free. And when you sell one T-shirt, they'll print one T-shirt. They'll take their $7 for the printing. They'll send you the balance as your profit. It's simple to do merchandising. You can make mugs, you can make aprons, you can make socks, you can make T-shirts, you can make hoodies, whatever. So
do you guys advise new artists to make their own name for theirself to get a bigger buzz, or to sell merchandise as their fans getting to know them? They should brand themselves out, wear somebody else's stuff.
Yeah, I like I said again, we're talking about the music business, so don't jump into this thing without money. You got to have some sort of budget for something, whether it's pressing up CDs, pressing up shirts, pressing up anything. This is the music business. If you don't have money, then you got to go get it. Otherwise, it will be what?
That's a hobby.
It's a hobby.
Yeah.
Yep.
Here we go. Doug's got a question. What are the differences and similarities in marketing yourself as a producer versus an artist?
Rapper, artist, and producer. Here are the differences. The differences in marketing yourself as a producer versus a rapper artist is a producer, I believe, has longevity, and that a rapper and an artist, well, you're saying artist can mean any genre of music, so we'll just go with the rapper. And the rapper has an expiration date, I believe. Some people will argue with me and be like, nah, 2 Chainz, you know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. But we know this is a young person's game. We also know that when it comes to producing, that there are a lot of older producers that are creating hits right now that are on the radio. I just feel that producers are around consistent talent.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? To where they can, young and old, to where they can just keep adapting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brother Love, Aunt Lee, and Slap, I have evolved. Who is that?
Lee.
Oh, what's it? Aunt Lee. What's up, Lee? I was gonna say I couldn't read it at first. I am Brother Love, Aunt Lee. Slap, I have evolved. Man, what's up, Lee? What's going down? And then who else we got over here? We got Ron Tilson. We got Sammy Reed. We got Ray Goggin. What's up with it, Ray? We got who else we got up in here, man? We got Splade. We got yeah. We'll just keep going. Do we have any more questions, or is that it?
I think that's it.
That's it?
You guys got any more questions?
You guys got any more questions? Let us know right now, because otherwise, man, we're probably gonna dip up out of here. Let's see. And I guess that concludes our show for the night. All right.
All right. We'll talk to you guys later.
Yeah.
Probably do this maybe next week, maybe. Yep. Come with some questions, though. Come with some good questions. We'll come up with some good answers for you guys. And
I would say the more viewers we get, the more we'll start to have a steady schedule for you guys. But for right now, we'll have them once a week. We'll try to stay on schedule for you. If you guys could come by and just view it whenever we say it's on, and we see these numbers come up, we'll have a specific I'm sure that I'll be able to make something happen with my schedule.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no problem.
Give them a dose of this.
And then
we'll do episodes, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we'll bring in some guests, too.
Right.
And Evolutions.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll go live next week.
But now we out of here, man.
All right. See you guys later.